Hey there, fact lovers! Ever feel like your brain needs a little extra knowledge just for fun? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're serving up 50 random facts, some weird, some mind-blowing, and all guaranteed to make you the most interesting person in the room. From bizarre science to unexpected history, you won't believe what's coming up. So sit back, hit that like button, and let's dive into 50 random facts to fill your brain. Number 1. Despite supporting one of the highest human population densities, Japan is the first developed country with the highest percentage of forest-covered land at 74%. Japan's forest management policy began over 4 centuries ago. Number 2. An inventor trying to make a sock to prevent trench foot first produced modern water balloons. Having made a latex-coated sock and filling it with water to test for leaks, he found a rip and angrily threw it on his table. Pleased with the splash, he decided to market water balloons for children. Number 3. On 12th September 2001, the day after 9/11, the Queen ordered her royal guards to break protocol and play the USA's national anthem for stranded Americans in London. Number 4. Little Caesars and Detroit Tigers owner Mike Ilitch quietly paid Rosa Parks rent for more than a decade after she was robbed in her home and forced to move to a safer but more expensive part of Detroit. Number 5. Former US President Calvin Coolidge enjoyed buzzing for his bodyguards and then hiding under his desk as they frantically searched for him. Number 6. A Russian MiG pilot named Viktor Belenko defected to the USA during the Cold War along with his aircraft. When he arrived in the USA, he was convinced the CIA had specially stocked the grocery stores he went to because he couldn't believe the vast array of products for sale. Number 7. A man once tried to sue Pepsi because he found a mouse in his can of Mountain Dew. Pepsi defended the case by proving that Mountain Dew can dissolve a mouse in a few months. Number 8. Snoop Dogg says the only person that has outsmoked him is Willie Nelson, saying, "That's the only person that's ever smoked me under the table." Number 9. Saddam Hussein's son owned an actual Iron Maiden and used it against people he didn't like. Number 10. When General Lee surrendered at the end of the Civil War, he saw that Grant's military secretary, Ely Parker, was a Seneca Indian and said, "I am glad to see one real American here." To which Parker responded, "We are all Americans." Number 11. Over 40 million people of Irish descent are in the United States, 8 times more than the population of Ireland. Number 12. The Canadian government established one of the most northern settlements in the world, Grisfjord, by tricking 8 families into living there and then not allowing them to leave. Number 13. The world's longest continuously running experiment began in 1927 at the University of Queensland, Brisbane, testing the viscosity of pitch. 8 drops have formed since it began. Number 14. Benjamin Franklin never patented any of his designs and inventions. He believed that as we enjoy great advantages from the inventions of others, we should be glad of an opportunity to serve others by any invention of ours. And this we should do freely and generously. Number 15. When President Roosevelt visited the Pentagon in 1945 before its dedication, he ordered them to remove the whites-only signs, and therefore making the Pentagon the only building in Virginia where segregation laws were not enforced until 1965. Number 16. Target has 2 US-based forensic labs where they solve retail crimes, felonies, homicides, and special circumstances cases for law bureaus that need the extra manpower, facilities, resources, and time free of charge. Number 17. Just before going out of business, the founder of FedEx took the company's last $5,000, went to Vegas and played blackjack, winning enough money to keep the company afloat. Number 18. Electric cars and cabs were quite common in 1909, had a range of over 100 miles, had charging stations every few blocks in New York, were quite popular with women, and people would wait for an electric cab instead of taking a gasoline cab. Number 19. Programmers for Atari in the late 70s went to the CEO of the company asking for royalties and their names be included in the boxes. When he turned them down, they went and formed their own company, Activision. Number 20. In 1981, a Turkish man named Mehmet Ali Aka shot Pope John Paul II 4 times but didn't kill him. After the Pope recovered, he visited the assassin in prison and forgave him. The assassin was pardoned at the Pope's request, and 33 years after his crime, he visited Vatican City and laid flowers on the Pope's tomb. Number 21. When Coke marketed their Dasani brand of water in the UK in 2004, it was a PR disaster because they referred to it as bottled spunk. and used the slogan, "Can't live without spunk," not realizing spunk was a slang word for semen. Number 22. In 2010, the US Department of Defense connected 1,760 PlayStation 3 consoles to create the Condor Cluster supercomputer. It cost $2 million to build, and only uses about 10% the energy consumption of a comparable supercomputer. Number 23. It is mandatory for all North Koreans to vote, even though there is only one candidate for each office on the ballot. Number 24. When the USS West Virginia was raised following the attack on Pearl Harbor, the bodies of 3 men were discovered in a sealed compartment, along with a calendar on which they'd marked off 16 days. Number 25. After a bank teller refused to validate John Barrier's 50-cent parking because he was dressed poorly, he withdrew his $1 million from his account and took it to the bank across the street. Number 26. The half-cent was discontinued in 1857. When the US realized it was worth too little, however, when the half-cent was removed, it had more purchasing power than today's dime. Number 27. Art historians dismissed some doodles in Da Vinci's notebooks as irrelevant. But in 2016, a Cambridge professor found that one page of these scribbles actually contained the first written records, demonstrating the laws of friction. Number 28. From 1902 to 1907, a group of 12 scientists regularly ate dangerous, common food additives that had previously been untested, such as formaldehyde, and documented how they reacted to said additives. They were known as the Poison Squad and helped spur the creation of the FDA. Number 29. The Sydney Opera House actually has terrible acoustics. Edo Duarte, the former chief conductor of the Sydney Symphony Orchestra, once threatened to boycott the building. There is a $202 million project to renovate and improve the acoustics. Number 30. Stone castles were very, very effective against the Mongols. They sustained heavy casualties trying but were never able to take a single 1 and 2 invasions of Hungary. Number 31. When Tupac Shakur first started rapping, he was attending the Baltimore School for the Arts, where he studied theater, ballet, and other forms of art. He loved his classes and would have graduated if he hadn't been evicted due to his mom being a member of the Black Panther Party. Number 32. Call of the Void is that feeling when you think for a second about steering into oncoming traffic or jumping off a cliff for no reason, although you would never do it. Number 33. Highway hypnosis is a mental state where a person can drive a vehicle great distances responding to external events in the expected safe, correct manner, with no recollection of having consciously done so. Partial or complete amnesia related to the time spent driving can develop for the driver. Number 34. The law in India mandates that doctors write prescriptions in capital letters in illegible writing as a measure to prevent deaths caused by the misinterpretation of their sloppy handwriting. Number 35. The 5th oldest tree in the world was destroyed when a 26-year-old model set a fire to see better while she was smoking meth inside the hollow trunk. She was turned in by friends after showing them pictures of the fire and telling them, "I can believe I burned down a tree older than Jesus." Number 36. David Bowie holds the world record for the number of music video plays over a 24-hour period with 51 million plays, occurring January 11th, 2016, the day after his death. Number 37. A book entitled Atlanta Nights that was written by a group of sci-fi authors to be intentionally terrible, as a test for the publisher Publish America. It included a chapter containing computer-generated random sentences and 2 words for word-identical chapters. The publisher accepted it. Number 38. To his inauguration, Wyoming's first Democratic governor, George Parrott, also known as Big Nose George, wore shoes made from the skin of a lynched train robber. Number 39. Snake venom contains proteins that change the odor of the wounded animal, allowing snakes to track their bitten prey by odor. This adaptation allowed rattlesnakes to evolve the strike and release bite mechanism, which provided a huge benefit by minimizing contact with potentially dangerous prey. Number 40. The glass harmonica is considered by some to be the world's most dangerous instrument, credited with unexplained deaths as well as causing tinnitus and mental breakdowns. Number 41. All peppers used in Tabasco sauce are picked by hand. The pepper pickers compare the color of the peppers to a small red stick. If the colors match, the peppers are ripe and will be used in the sauce production process. Number 42. Cats are believed to be responsible for the extinction of 33 species of birds since 1600. In the US, they kill over 100 million a year, often when not even hungry. Number 43. Barns were traditionally red because farmers mixed rust with their DIY sealant mixture to resist fungus and moss, turning the mixture red. Number 44. In order to ensure Kendrick Lamar didn't have a ghostwriter, Eminem kicked everyone out of the studio and made him write a verse on the spot. Number 45. When Einstein died, his brain went missing, which was found 23 years later in the basement of a pathologist, stored in Tupperware containers. Number 46. Anyone can apply for observing time on the Hubble Space Telescope, regardless of nationality or academic affiliation. Competition is extremely intense, though, and people who apply need to prove the value of their telescope time. Number 47. After the death of Steve Irwin in what was speculated to be a series of revenge killings, at least 10 stingrays were found dead and mutilated on the coast of Queensland. Number 48. A bug fix in software is called a patch because when computers were programmed by punch cards, bugs were fixed by literally placing a patch over one hole and punching another. Number 49. Shadow people. The perception of a patch of shadow as a living humanoid figure are believed to exist by some people. One author on the topic describes shadow people as negative alien beings, while other authors think they may be the extra-dimensional inhabitants of another universe. Number 50. In 1932, an English bank moved into its new headquarters at 219 to 229 Baker Street, London. The site was thought to include 221 B Baker Street, the fictional home of Sherlock Holmes, and for many years they employed a secretary charged with answering mail sent to Holmes at that address. And that's a wrap on 50 random facts to fill your brain. Which fact blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more awesome facts. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious!